9 European station wagons. Under $5,000. That mechanics say almost never break down. I found them. I'm giving you all 9 right now. Number 7 is the one that a mechanic in Texas told me he hasn't seen in his shop for repairs in 4 years. 4 years. Subscribe so you don't miss the next list. Let's go. Volvo V70 second generation. We start in Sweden. Because of course we do. The second generation Volvo V70 2001 through 2007 is the car that mechanics bring up first when you ask this question. Not second. Not after thinking about it. First. Immediately. With a look on their face that is equal parts respect and mild financial frustration. Because this car, maintained even halfway correctly, simply does not come in for anything serious. Oil changes. Brakes eventually. Maybe a sensor here and there. And then nothing. Just driving. For hundreds of thousands of miles. Volvo built this car during the period when they were still a fully independent Swedish engineering operation, before Ford bought them and before Geely bought them from Ford, and the philosophy was pure Northern European stubbornness. Build it right or don't build it at all. The 2.4-liter 5-cylinder engine in the naturally aspirated form is one of the most relaxed, under-stressed motors of its era. It barely knows it's working at highway speed. The suspension handles American potholes with a patience that domestic trucks half its age cannot manage. Mechanics love it because their customers love it. Their customers love it because it never lets them down. That is the whole story. Volvo V40 first generation. The smaller sibling. The one that most Americans have never seen in person but that mechanics in coastal cities mention with a quiet reverence that tells you everything. The first generation Volvo V40 1996 through 2004 is a compact wagon built on the same obsessive Swedish safety and durability philosophy as everything else Volvo produced in this era, just compressed into a smaller, lighter, more nimble package. The engine lineup that earns the most praise from mechanics is the 1.8 and the 2-liter 4-cylinder units. Simple architecture. Chain-driven in the configurations that matter. Low stress at normal driving speeds. The cars are small enough that the braking system barely acknowledges it has a job to do, which means brake components last longer than you would expect. The interior is tight but honest. Everything in it was put there because it needed to be there, not because a marketing team decided it would photograph well. Mechanics see these come in for consumables and genuinely little else. The ones to watch for are rust around the rear wheel arches and the early automatic gearbox on certain trims, which prefers fresh fluid on a regular schedule. Give it that and it will cooperate indefinitely. Peugeot 406 brake. France gets a seat at this table and they absolutely earned it. The Peugeot 406 brake, 1997 through 2004, is the car that confuses American mechanics the first time they see it and converts them the second time. Because the second time they see it, it comes in for an oil change. And then they don't see it again for 2 years. The 2-liter naturally aspirated gasoline engine on this car was designed with the understanding that Peugeot's export markets included some of the roughest roads and most extreme temperatures on Earth. When your engineering brief includes sub-Saharan Africa and northern France simultaneously, you tend to build something that is not easily defeated by ordinary life. The suspension tuning on the 406 brake was called a benchmark by European automotive press when it launched, and that reputation has held. The car simply handles real roads better than most things in its price range have any right to. What mechanics flag as the watch points are the suspension bushings, which wear with age and produce handling vagueness that sounds expensive but costs almost nothing to fix, and the electrical architecture, which can develop minor quirks in high-mileage examples. Neither of these things will strand you. They will just remind you that the car has been working hard for a long time and deserves a small amount of attention. Mercedes-Benz E-Class Estate W210. The Germans show up and they show up seriously. The Mercedes-Benz E-Class Estate, W210 generation 1996 through 2002, is the car that mechanics mention with a particular kind of respect. The kind reserved for things that were built by people who genuinely did not know how to do anything halfway. The 3.2-liter M112 V6 in the E320 is a timing chain engine. Not a belt. A chain. Which means the conversation about belt replacement intervals never needs to happen. The engine runs quiet, pulls strongly, and operates with a mechanical confidence that reflects the tolerance standards Mercedes applied in this era. The suspension is fully independent front and rear with a multi-link geometry that provides a ride quality that makes occupants forget they are in a 20-year-old car. Mechanics flag 2 things on the W210 and they flag them every time. The underbody rust on cars from northern states is serious and must be personally inspected. And the electrical system, while not unreliable by nature, requires diagnostic equipment that generic shops may not carry. Find an independent Mercedes specialist. One phone call before you buy is worth more than 3 test drives. Skoda Octavia Combi 2nd Generation. The Czech Republic sends a car that is secretly a Volkswagen and openly refuses to apologize for it. The 2nd generation Skoda Octavia Combi, 2004 through 2013, is built on the Volkswagen Golf platform with Volkswagen Group engines and Volkswagen Group gearboxes. It is, by any engineering measure, a Golf wagon. Except that nobody at the valet stand knows what the badge says, which means the price reflects reality rather than aspiration. Mechanics love this car for the same reason they love the Golf. The parts are everywhere, the service information is comprehensive, every shop has worked on the platform, and the cars themselves simply do not generate drama. The 1.8 turbocharged unit is the engine that earns the most enthusiasm. It pulls well, it is responsive, and it predates the direct injection complications that plagued later Volkswagen Group products. The DSG dual-clutch gearbox, when present, needs its fluid serviced on schedule. That is the one non-negotiable. Skip it and the mechatronic unit becomes the most expensive lesson you have ever received from a Czech car. BMW 3 Series Touring E46. Here is where people get surprised. Because BMW has a reputation in American culture that is completely at odds with what mechanics say about this specific generation. The 3 Series Touring E46 body, 1999 through 2005, is the generation that BMW built before the electronic complexity of later models changed the ownership experience fundamentally. The 2.5-liter M54 inline-6 is one of the finest naturally aspirated engines of its era by any objective measure. It is smooth, it is willing, it is reliable in a way that BMW engines after this generation simply are not. Mechanics who have worked on these for 20 years say the same thing. The ones that were maintained come in for oil, brakes and cooling system maintenance, and almost nothing catastrophic. The ones that were neglected tell a different story. This car rewards attentive ownership. It does not punish you for normal use. What it does not forgive is extended oil change intervals and cooling system components that were never replaced. The thermostat, the water pump, the expansion tank, on a preventive schedule these are cheap. When they fail unexpectedly they cascade. Know this going in, and the E46 Touring is one of the most rewarding cars on this entire list. Audi A4 Avant B6. Audi sends the car that mechanics describe as the one that surprises people. The A4 Avant B6 platform, 2002 through 2005, has a reputation shaped mostly by the later B8 generation, which had legitimate reliability issues that the internet documented thoroughly. The B6 is a different story. The 1.8 turbocharged and the 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder engines on the B6 are workhorses. They are not exciting. They are not sophisticated. They are engines that were designed to run for a long time without requiring your sustained emotional investment. The Quattro all-wheel drive system on this generation is mechanically robust and documented by hundreds of thousands of examples still running in cold weather states where people bought them specifically for winter capability and kept them because they never gave a reason to stop. What mechanics watch on the B6 Avant is the PCV system, which can develop oil consumption issues if neglected, and the front control arm bushings, which wear with mileage and produce a handling signature that is immediately noticeable and immediately fixable. This car, bought from a dry climate with documented maintenance, is a different proposition from one that came through a northeastern winter fleet. Know the difference and buy accordingly. Saab 9.3 Sport Combi. Sweden sends a second entry and this one is personal. The Saab 9.3 Sport Combi, 2005 through 2011, is the last generation of wagons produced by a company that genuinely believed it was doing something different from everyone else. And in several specific ways it was. The 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that Saab used in this car was developed with an understanding of forced induction that most manufacturers were still figuring out. It produces torque across a wide rev range, it responds to the throttle with a linearity that turbo engines of the era often lacked, and it has documented long-term reliability that surprises people who have been told to avoid Saabs based on the company's financial history rather than its engineering record. The company went bankrupt. The cars did not go unreliable. These are two separate facts. Mechanics who have worked on the 9.3 Sport Combi consistently say the drivetrain is not where the problems come from. The electrical system, specifically the instrument cluster and various comfort module sensors, is where gremlins occasionally appear. They are diagnosable. They are not catastrophic. The car structure is solid, the suspension is well sorted, and the interior has a Swedish ergonomic thoughtfulness that makes daily life genuinely pleasant. Parts availability has improved as the aftermarket filled the gap left by Saab's departure. This car rewards buyers who do their homework. Volkswagen Passat variant B5. And we close with the German that mechanics call the quiet one. Not the flashiest choice. Not the one that starts conversations at gas stations. The Volkswagen Passat variant, B5 generation, 1997 through 2005, is the wagon that has been sitting in American driveways doing exactly what it was asked to do for so long that it has basically become invisible. And that invisibility is the most accurate indicator of reliability that exists. Nobody is writing think pieces about their Passat variant. Nobody is making emotional YouTube videos about keeping one alive against all odds. They're just driving them. To work, to the grocery store, to their kids' school. Day after day after day with the complete confidence that the car will cooperate because the car always cooperates. The 1.8 turbocharged and the 2.8-liter VR6 engines are the ones with the longest mechanical track records in American hands. The VR6 especially is an engine that mechanics treat with a respect that borders on affection. It makes a sound at idle that sounds like it is thinking seriously about every revolution. And it keeps thinking. Past 200,000 miles. Past 250,000 in properly maintained examples. What to watch? The timing belt on the 1.8 is a scheduled replacement item and must be treated as a priority. The sludge issue on the 1.8 also requires strict oil change adherence. Extended intervals are not forgiven by this engine. Follow the maintenance schedule and the Passat variant will follow you everywhere you need to go. 9 wagons. For countries. Decades of proof. And the same verdict from every mechanic who was honest enough to give it. These are not cars that marketing built. These are not cars that influencer campaigns kept alive. These are cars that earned their reputation the only way that actually means anything, by starting every morning, by absorbing every pothole, by asking for almost nothing and delivering everything. The Volvo V70 that refuses to quit. The V40 that proved smaller does not mean weaker. The Peugeot that was built for roads that would destroy everything else. The Mercedes that brought German obsession to a price that German dealers never intended. The Skoda that figured out the smartest move in the car market is to let Volkswagen do your engineering and keep your mouth shut about it. The BMW that rewards the owners who respect it and outlasts every expectation of the owners who do. The Audi that got unfairly judged for sins it never committed. The Saab that proved a company can go bankrupt without taking its engineering reputation with it. And the Passat that became invisible because being visible means something went wrong. 9 cars. One truth. Reliability is not about where a car was born. It is about whether the people who built it cared more about function than fashion. Subscribe right now if you want more lists that the industry does not want you to see. Comment with the one you would pick and why. And share this with the person in your life who is about to spend $30,000 on something they will regret in 3 years. This information is free. Bad decisions are not.